I check it like you were a string spell in it, yeah? I really don't mind.
You hit me once, I hit you back.
He's bowling like my Auntie Annie when she'd had too much sherry to drink.
Played over my head, then I set fire.
मैंने कहा बेटा बेटा होता है और बाप बाप होता है.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Pie Checkers Cricket Podcast. This is Vivek along with my fellow Pie Checkers Sai and Shubham. In this episode, we are going to discuss about the news which all us Indian cricket fans have been waiting for. IPL is going to happen. And the second news that the second update we are going to discuss is the resumption, the second test series after the resumption, which is England versus Pakistan. The first test starting August 5th. Now, coming back to IPL, so we now know that IPL is going to start this year. And guys, we need to start putting our thinking hats with the fantasy league, which we are going to play.
When does it start?
September 19th. So it is one of the longest tournaments.
Not one of
the longest IPL.
Only for an 8-team edition.
Oh,
only for an 8-team.
10 team was longer, kya?
Yes. So
Shivam is spreading fake news.
Just like our
Open India.
Another news channels. So yeah, and it's the first time that the final is going to happen on a weekday, which is Tuesday.
Doesn't matter, right? 8 o'clock final.
7:30.
Yeah.
And it's 7:30. Yeah. So I mean, but weekday, as it is, guys are working from home, right? How does it matter if it happens on a weekday?
I'm already going to ask my boss for a leave, so it's okay.
Acha, for you, what time it will be in Canada?
11 o'clock. Or
11 in the morning?
10 or 11, yeah. In the morning, yes. So I'll have to take leave.
Acha, I never thought about it, that it doesn't matter to us if it is a weekend or not, but it may matter to Indian people or people who follow abroad. If it is a Sunday, it helps.
But nobody cares about us. The main audience is in India, so it's all right.
So it is not the NRI community that IPL is being conducted for, right? It's all for us. हम हिंदुस्तानी लोगों के लिए जो इंडिया में है, it is for them.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, and bookies anyways would be working on weekdays, right?
So anyways, 5,000 crores secured. That's the most important headline here.
Exactly. And the other good part is I think and we have
dates nahi aaya na abhi?
No, the dates have come. It is from September
schedule
19th.
No, as in the schedule
has not come.
So the detailed fixture has been shared with the franchisees today. They have to go through it and we need to get that approval. So that decision is still pending. Yes.
Okay. And I think they've been asked not to travel before August 24th.
That's correct. That is a speculation right now. It's not been confirmed, but yes, they have to.
What about South Africa guys? Are they coming?
Up in the air.
Yes, up in the air. And I think Graham Smith did mention earlier this week or last week rather that.
Don't think it is in Graham Smith's hand.
I think it's more about the fact that there's some strong, strict travel regulations in South Africa. So a lot of these guys missed out on CPL because of that as well. But they're hoping that these guys will come. Of course, Graham Smith, if he wants India to tour, if he wants money, he has to send his players to IPL, man.
I think he will send. It is not, but it is not in his hand, right?
Yes,
if it is government intervention.
Agreed.
And Australia and England guys also would be arriving timely, but I think they'll join late, right?
This is a quarantine period, right?
Yeah, 16 September is when Australia-England finishes. And so I think they'll not be able to play for a week.
Yes, and that is there. I mean, I think that's true. And the other news which is being circulated is that there are going to be country-specific charter flights which will get these players to UAE.
It had to be, man. Richest league in the world.
So
I know, but even CPL is doing that. They had from everyone congregated in London and they were flying them in. So, I mean, it's a given.
Yeah. Even Gautam Vimani from India flew.
What? To CPL?
Yes. He posted on his social network.
When are you flying out?
Of course. So I checked with on Twitter. I think not a lot of media guys are flying to Dubai anyway.
Fair enough.
So we would be like the bottom of the barrel anyway.
I think that all the team from a broadcasting standpoint also there is a lot of now they can kind of start finalizing at least the commentary roster, who is
Oh,
going to travel and who's not,
broad.
Yeah,
or
so I think Shivam also is planning to email the BCCI to put up his case on why he feels that he needs to be playing for, or sorry, commentating.
Commentating.
Yeah,
I don't mind playing for a franchise also, but
yeah.
I mean commentating would be good enough. So is there a commentator who's like hanging in the air like South Africa players?
Of course,
I,
everybody's favorite.
especially
I mean,
Shivam's.
yeah, you don't. I mean, we all love him, right? He's pretty favorite. I think he's Sambit's favorite at ESPN Cricket Info, anyways.
Clearly. I mean, I guess because they are colleagues, that helps as well.
He was batting for Sanjay all through the last week.
Yeah.
And
So
One thing to add to the Sanjay Manjrekar thing, I think the Dada's biggest achievement, or at least top three achievements since becoming BCCI president, for me, one of them would be Sanjay being knocked out from the commentary panel.
But do you think now that Sanjay has written a formal apology and he's started looking out for his mental health by going for physical and mental health, he's going for his runs, and then after that he's having his
Peg.
a drink, which apparently Bishan Singh Bedi kind of promotes.
like
So so maybe Dada will kind of ki theek hai, okay, le- let's forgive him and get
yeah,
him on the roster.
happened with Harsha as well, right? So
Yeah.
he came back. Apparently, I was listening to some YouTube channel today from Pakistan. He was talking about the same issue, and he said that it has happened to Waqar Yunis as well. Waqar Yunis spoke a lot about team management and all that, or about the board
And then
when
he
he was
became
chucked
coach.
out as a coach. No, when he was chucked out as a
Oh,
coach,
okay.
and then he was also dropped from commentary team as well. That
But he's
you
back
talked.
now.
Yeah, he's back now, but then he also had to apologize.
So the
So
point,
it
are you
happened.
suggesting that Sanjay is now next in line to be get a coaching appointment then?
I mean, if Shastri could, anybody could, right?
Controversial. We'll have
Well,
to edit that.
Langer,
But
Slater,
but
Slater,
yeah,
Slater said yesterday or day before yesterday somewhere that he believes Shastri and Virat Kohli have immense respect for each other, and that is why they are so successful as a duo.
How does Slater know anything?
I mean, Indian eyeballs, right? You talk about Team India, Indian coach, so you get Indian eyeballs.
Agreed.
but is that Sanjay Manjrekar has been thrown out only because he called Ravindra Jadeja bits and pieces player, or he
I
had
don't think
some tiff
lot
on
of people.
with
Yeah,
Ganguly
I
on
think a
air?
lot of
Is that
people
only?
call. He also had a tiff with. He also slammed Harsha Bhogle for his opinions in one
I
commentary
mean,
stint.
there's a whole laundry list full of things he's done here. He
Hmm.
perennially makes these flippant remarks, which he aggressively defends and tries to put forth as if he's some professional guy. But that tiff with Harsha was completely unprofessional, and that's why I find it ridiculous that Samvid Bal is saying he's amongst the most professional guys there. I mean, that's a very low bar, I agree, but still, you can't call that professional. And I remember in his amongst the many hot takes that Sanjay Manjrekar has, one of them was in 2004, 5 or something. He was saying yes, Sachin should retire. I mean, he started saying things about Sachin. I mean, these are places you don't go, man. He didn't get chucked out then, right? So I don't think
Yeah,
it's just one incident. I think it's multiple and repeated offenses by this guy.
yeah, and I think he has kind of he's been doing commentating for he's been commentating for the last 22 years. So I guess now he's past his use
Sell by
date.
date. Yeah.
Yeah, sell by
Well,
date.
well,
Yeah.
Sunny Gavaskar is apparently expected to travel even at the age of 70 plus, right? 71.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, like, but he doesn't go around telling people that I have played and you have not played.
Fair enough, fair enough. What about women's cricket, man? IPL, we're gonna have 4 games.
Yes, and I think that's a good thing to happen. I mean,
Not for the
some
BBL.
not for the BPL, and Alisa Healy is clearly not very happy, along with a few other people, probably because they are going to miss out on that paycheck, or I don't know, maybe they are concerned that the Indian women may not be playing in, or I don't know. I mean, how does it work out? Because I
I
think
mean, they would
Smriti,
want to play both, right? I think
That's
everybody would want to play both.
I think the bigger thing they're trying to, I mean, what they're trying to say, though they've gotten into a lot of ugly arguments online now with people, is that if it's great for women's cricket that we're having this, but let's let both these events happen separately so that you have more women's cricket televised and happening and etc. But to be honest, this is just a year in which the schedule has been thrown off. And it's not that the women's leg of the IPL was something which they intentionally are trying to compete with the BPL on. It's just a simple fact that you couldn't fit it in anywhere, and you usually fit it in with the IPL. That's it. I think Lisa Healy and all. I mean, they're aggressively reacting to it, but what else can
And
you
and,
do?
and
Yeah.
you don't need a PhD from Oxford to understand this, right?
Thank you, Boria.
so what to make
So
of
what is
it?
Boria trying to achieve by getting into that shorting match,
I
man?
don't know, man. He's known as cricket historian. He has a PhD, so he should be Dr. Buria, in fact, shouldn't he?
Yeah, he should be ideally.
Like
But
Dr.
Doctor.
yeah,
Dino?
Professor
No, he's
Tito.
professor.
Yeah,
Professor. Sorry.
so I guess a lot of people have a lot of interest in IPL and their
So
own
lots
interest.
still hanging in the air with the IPL with South
Correct.
Africa. You don't know when teams
See,
travel, how much do they
SOP,
travel? 24. Yeah.
the entire SOP has to be still drafted. They're looking for a company to kind of orchestrate that whole bubble setup, etc. So yeah, there are a lot of things to do. But I guess even prior to the elections of several years ago, they had to move the entire event to
South
was it
Africa.
South Africa,
Dubai. They
Dubai.
moved to South
Uh,
Africa once and Dubai
yeah,
once.
they
Yeah.
did move to South Africa as well once, and everything was done on a pretty expedited schedule. So I think they'll be able to do it. Just hope fingers crossed that that bubble is able to kind of
But I
keep
think
the
one
disease up.
thing is clear now, no crowds. I think there was a contemplation that 30% of the stadium might be filled by Emirates board, but I think now IPL has said no crowds.
Makes sense.
Uh, what they're saying is that the first leg, I don't know what the first leg means, but the
Oh,
first leg is going to be behind closed doors, and in the second
okay.
leg, they may have 30 to 50% of the stadium to
Fair
capacity.
enough. So
So that's what
what
they've been discussing.
what about a series that we know a bit about, wherein it is established that a biosecure is possible? So moving on to that, what do you think? I think it will be a good series.
Um, if you're asking me, I think it's going to be a good series, but you know what? What I visualize is Pakistan is going to have a few moments in the series where they are going to challenge England, but overall, uh, uh, I'm
We'll
kind of
come
a
to that.
fixed
We'll
belief.
come to that. We'll come to
Sure,
that. Don't. We'll
sure.
come to that
Okay.
overall and all.
I
What
would
do
say that it's going to be a cracker of the series because I always imagine that Pakistan, yeah, they'll look good and then they'll just collapse in the next match, right? When you least expect it. But I think if you look at the history in the last two series that Pakistan has played in England, both of them have been draws, which is not something you can say about India. So Pakistan do, and they have a whole track record in history. Even in the 90s, they were pretty dominant in Pakistan, in England. So I think it will be a cracker of a series.
what 10 years Pakistan hasn't lost to England a Test series?
Yeah.
2010 till 2020 till date. They're yet to lose. They've won in UAE. They've drawn in England.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fair enough. So the part that goes in England's favor is obviously they've been playing for a month now, Test cricket, and we may call it another West Indies in green clothes or other white clothes. So that may make it easier. And another thing is that the last two tests have been at this very ground against West Indies. So they're again playing a third test match. Is there a possibility of a pitch being too dry or too used up?
Do we know they're using the same pitch or is it another pitch on the
I mean,
square?
how many pitches do we have? I mean, two or three, but the square will not be that watered, right?
Is the picture behind you any indication to how many pitches are there?
Yes, this is the same ground,
Yeah.
but I don't know. People are expecting Pakistan. Even I think Misbah has also said that we may play two spinners. So the weather was to play spoil sport, but Luckily, it's only now, as of today, only the first day has 60% chances of rain. Rest 4 days are clear, so I think we'll have a good result-oriented test match. This ground has historically featured high-scoring games, and again, you win the toss, you bat here, you don't bowl. That is what has been happening for last few odd, I mean, 10 plus years. I don't know why West Indies bowled twice. I think whoever wins toss bats first. That is a given.
Okay, so win the toss and bat first is the mantra.
Yes, don't look up, don't look down. Close your eyes, look at the stats, bat first at Old Trafford.
I like it.
Yeah.
So
So, what do you
that
reckon about the
yeah.
11? Pakistan, what do you think they'll play?
So for me, I think yeah. For me, I feel there are reports coming in over from that basically more or less the 11 is settled is what has been discussed. The only contention is if Fawad Alam is
Number
going to
seven
play
or number
or
six, rather?
yeah, number 6, if Fawad Alam is going to play, or one of the three all rounders.
All round.
And uh, n- I I don't know if the pitch is. So there are two scenarios of what I feel. If they feel the pitch is a little flat, and if the Pakistan are in a more defensive mindset, if I can call that, then probably they will go with Fawad Alam. Or else, if they feel the pitch is going to take spin, they may go with Shadab Khan as their number 6, who gives them the leg spinning option as well. So probably that's what my
Pacers are
call
more or
is.
less Shaheen Afridi, Naseem Shah, and Mohammad Abbas. These pick
Agreed.
themselves.
Yeah.
Correct, correct,
But
correct.
Sohail Khan also bowled pretty brilliantly, right? He's learnt the new ball, how to swing it late.
Ghar
He
ghar ka
learnt it pretty late.
Yeah, that was his claim for claim to fame, right?
ghar.
Sai, a few years
Yeah, yeah.
back before the
माशाल्लाह
2015
हमारे
World
पास भी बहुत अच्छे बैट्समैन हैं.
Oh,
Kohli
in the
ho ya
World Cup?
Kohli ho
Virat
Yeah.
Kohli?
हाँ.
2015,
होगा
right?
घर का खोली.
But
So he's
what
still
they
playing for them.
say, what the talk about Sohail Khan is that he is good in first spell or in the first innings, and by the time the second spell comes, or if you go into the second innings, he's all out of gas. He's run out of gas. So it's not he's not
And he's
as
like
penetrative.
36 or 30 something, seven.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
like
yes, yes,
So
yes.
these three guys will play, I think. Shaheen Afridi, Naseem Shah, and Abbas. And
the,
then what do you do about the openers? Imam plays or Abid Ali plays? Bradman,
Uh,
rather.
uh, for me, I think right now Abid Ali plays, and though he did score against Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, but those were Pakistani
write-offs.
wickets. Yeah. So so I don't know. I mean, I think they will go ahead with Abid Ali, and they're just waiting for Abid Ali or one of
To
the
fail?
openers to fail, and then they get the junior Bradman, as our Dr. Norman says, junior Bradman to come into the team.
So,
Yeah, Sai?
so
I honestly, it's like black hole at the top of the order of Pakistan team, right? Like you just throw anyone in there, they'll just get sucked in. So does it matter?
and then
And
Imam comes back.
and
Yeah.
you know what? If I mean today there was this dream, the all-time Pakistan Test 11
Yeah.
discussion which was happening,
Cricket
and
info.
and you guys heard who was the opener,
No.
their best opener? They decided on Shahid Afridi as opening for their
God.
Test team since 1990.
I can't believe
Wow.
it, man.
Yeah, Saeed Anwar and Shahid Afridi. So that tells you
But
like
that
what.
was actually a fun opening partnership. I mean, I think that's the last recognized pair, opening pair, which Pakistan had apparently.
Yeah, so I mean when you
I think
set that
Salman Butt
code,
was good when he was
Match
not
fixers
doing
are
the.
not allowed.
I mean, when he wasn't doing well. So Azhar doesn't know still why he was banned, apparently.
okay. So how about England team, guys? Remains the same. Broad gets dropped this time.
Sorry,
No,
just
man.
let me salivate over the Pakistan bowling lineup, man. I'm looking
Oh, man.
forward to seeing those three pacers on that pitch. Everyone brings a little something different, especially that youngest guy, man. I just watch his YouTube videos just to see his run up, his
Naseem?
thing. Yeah, if I could bowl like that, man, like even 1/10 of that, like look as good as him, 1/10 of it, I would, I would die for it. He's just
And
brilliant.
there are statements from Wakar that say that he is one of the quickest learners, or one of the guys who picks up stuff very quickly. He says that whatever we try and tell him, he kind of just picks it up and tries implements it the next day. So that way he's apparently very good. So let's see how he goes. Muhammad Abbas will do
In
well
England, in England,
in
he's
England.
in Pakistan, in UAE pitches also he's he's
Yeah, so
unplayable.
in
So can you
England he'll do
imagine?
well. Shaheen Shah is left arm again,
Yeah.
very good. So there only, I think again that we'll have to talk a bit about the middle order also. I mean, Azhar Ali is good, Asad Shafiq is also good, and then Babar Azam. He's averaging the most in Test crickets in 2018. Babar Azam, more than Virat Kohli, Joe Root, Ken Williamson, David Warner, Steve.
And but what I heard is Shafiq has been playing for last 10 years. He's not got a
Hmm.
single man of the match award. You know,
Is it?
yeah, is what.
But I mean, are you surprised?
But that's yeah.
Like,
I mean, how much has
USA they could
Pakistan
have
won?
yeah.
Huh?
How much has Pakistan won?
At home they've won a lot. Like in UAE,
Okay.
sorry, they've won quite a
They
bit.
were number one Test team, yeah, a few years
But
back.
then
So
Asad Shafiq bats at 5. So how many man of the matches can you conjure up from 5? I don't know.
yeah, fair enough. So just I just wanted to touch upon that what you said, that he's one of the fastest learners. Even Bruce Jenner said the same thing about Shane Warne, that Shane Warne was someone whom I used to give him one suggestion, and then the next day he implemented it within nights. So I don't know if I can draw parallels over there. It just kind of reminded me.
So
Um,
England will have their task cut out. That means.
I really think it also comes down to the pitches, because like if it's going to be a slow and
No, but
slow
then
pitch and all of that, then sorry.
the problem will be England cannot prepare similar pitches and expect a Cornwall now bowling to them.
Yeah.
It may be a couple of decent leg spinners. Yasir Shah is a world class spinner.
He's been very hot and cold throughout his career. I think in 2016 or something, they were touring and Yasser had one big, really good game, and then he went to Australia and then he was pathetic. So let's see which Yasser Shah shows up. But yeah, he's a weapon if he's on song, right?
Yes,
yes,
yes.
yes.
So what
And
about
but
England now? England's 11. Yeah.
uh, for me, England is the reason I have problem with Pakistan is that apart from Abbas, Naseem Shah, and the other guy, they are very very young. I mean Shaheen Afridi, they are very young. So to sustain that performance over a three-test series is something I don't have a lot of confidence in them. They may have that spark in one innings or one particular session, which will define one test. Probably that may help them win a test, but from a series perspective, I find it a little difficult. And that's where England bowlers will kind of stand out. They have played three test matches coming into this series. I think that is something which is going to help keep them as favorites for me by a long margin. Is
So
how I
same
look at
11, or Best goes out, Broad goes out.
Yeah,
Who goes out?
if there's spin, I guess you have to play best, because you have to play that perfunctory one spinner. But I honestly think that the template we saw last match, that's how England has to go, because these are teams who their strength is not playing against pace bowling. So you go with four fast bowlers, use Stokes as an attacking option because you don't want to tire him out. You need him for all three tests. You use him like for shock value, and this is what I pitched in the first before the first test of the last series. So again, I'm coming back to this. Let's see if it happens though.
Yeah, fair enough. So you were saying the same 11?
Yeah.
For me, yeah, okay.
I was listening to Rashid Latif today. He said that if he were advising England, he would advise them to maybe leave out Wokes and pick Sam Curran, because he says Pakistani batsmen, how they play is, or a lot of subcontinent batsmen, they get a lot of ahead of themselves. Front foot goes out. So when a
Bring it
ball,
back
and
in.
Curran has the ability to bring it back in, so they will get into trouble.
Mhm.
So that is what Rashid Latif feels. But I don't see that happening.
And
Yeah.
honestly, it's like it's just spoiled for riches. Picking between Wokes and Sam Curran. Every test Curran plays, they're going to win. Wokes in England is like 70 wickets in 10 matches or something
These
ridiculous.
guys have an ODI team playing tomorrow versus maybe say Ireland, and then a test team playing day after, and then there are people like Alex Hales who's not getting into any teams.
Well, Joe Denley is still there in the squad, so he might still get a game in the ODI in the final, the dead rubber of this series. So
As a leg spinner?
yeah, as an all-rounder leg spinner.
Hey, on that note, how good has Camphor been for Ireland?
Oh, I mean, he's my favorite new player, and he as most people would know, and he caught my eye before his debut is because he played under 19 cricket for South Africa. So it just shows you, the drain of in talent from South Africa. And this guy is smart. He went to Ireland because he's playing international cricket straight away rather than go play domestic in somewhere else.
You're right.
He just jumped
You're
right
right.
into international cricket, and he looks the fit for the part.
Yeah.
So what about the picks? What do you reckon? 2 from each?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Karan, you wanna go?
I'll go first. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll start with Pakistan.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is an easy one or a safe one, I would say, though. But I think those are the best chances: Naseem Shah and Babar Azam. I think those two are going to be someone who I think will have an impact of the game. How about
And
you, Sai?
England?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm in agreement with 50% of your picks. I like Babar Azam, and honestly, in that batting lineup, you'd have to probably go with him at least for the first test. In terms of the other guy, it was a toss-up for me between Naseem or Abbas. I'll go with Abbas just because he has the experience of bowling in England, and it just seems like he bowls at that English pace where it's not too quick, so he gets all that movement and swing. So I think he'll be a handful for the English batsman.
I think I'll have to go. Khare's with the same. I think Babar Azam is an excellent pick, which everyone will have to pick in the Pakistan lineup. And again, Naseem Shah, with what we've been hearing about him. So these two will be my picks as well, Pakistan.
Just to quickly add in over there, there are reports coming on that he's not performed as well as expected during the intra squad matches. Babar Azam.
Who? Babar
Babar
Azam.
Azam. So
Nor has
You
Shadab,
cannot
man.
discount that.
Shadab has 20 overs for 100 runs and no wickets in the warmer matches. So, I mean,
And
he's
so
supposed
there
to be an
are
all-rounder now. But
there are also talks that Abid Ali has been batting poorly in the warm-ups in the nets, and Imam has been batting better. So I mean, you never know with Pakistan what they'll come up with. What about England?
England, I'm expecting they are not going to drop Broad this time around. Probably they win the Test series and then drop Broad. So I think seeing
Rest.
rest. Sorry. So I think Broad again is going to be a pick, and I would want to go with Stokes, but I think Stokes is a little tired, so probably he may not he may not be as impactful. So I'd rather go with Root this time.
Dude, as
So
a
it'll
100.
be Broad and Root.
yeah,
How about you, sir?
I would never dare pick against Ben Stokes. So he did look like he was, a little bit tired out in the third test, but the rest of the team picked up the weight there, so pulled their weight there, so it's okay. But I wouldn't go against picking Stokes. I'll go with Stokes, and it's a toss-up again between Jimmy or Broad. Broad has looked the better bowler all summer, so Broad it is.
So I'll go with Broad and Archer. I think Pakistan
Two
being
fast bowlers.
Pakistan. Yeah, Pakistan. I think they'll struggle. They may struggle against quick, fast bowling, short bowling. They may struggle.
So now that Shivam has picked Archer, Archer will not be playing in the next match.
Possible. That is
So
possible.
far, everyone at least one fast bowler he's picked every time is not played. So
And people have actually been talking about how Archer needs to kind of come down a little from the sky he's at and behave in a manner that the team sport demands. I think people feel he was way off in the third test due to whatever issues or so. So I think Archer will come back firing.
Interesting.
picks.
So now call the
Call the
match. Yeah.
Yeah.
Call the match. Yeah.
So
I think
so
it will be-
we'll start with
Shivam.
Shivam.
Yeah.
Yeah, England. I think England has been winning big this ground. I think it will be England. They've already played 2 test matches.
Any innings prediction? Any innings or runs
Very
prediction?
tough.
What
Very
has
tough.
George Noel told you on WhatsApp?
I haven't even texted him in a week.
Is he the gonna be at the game?
Don't know. He should be, but he wasn't there at the last game. I believe, was he? He was.
He was. There was this picture which was trending, right? Of him.
Yes.
He got caught on TV. Yeah. And
This
some
is
guy
what is
said,
this is what is wrong with the British media, right?
and another guy posted saying that he is very beautiful and or something like that.
His sister likes it.
Yeah, his sister likes it. Yeah.
The ugly
Wow.
sister, rather.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
My pick is England. I just think, just like with the West Indies, I'm worried about that Pakistani batting lineup, especially if they're going to pick Shadab to play at number 6. I mean, just a couple of years ago, he was probably batting at like 9 or 10 in ODIs, and now he's suddenly a number 6 in Tests. It seems a little bit of a stretch to me, but who knows? Next, Shoaib Malik.
Shoaib Malik is still playing.
Yeah.
Um, for me, it's all England all the way. Yeah, there is just too much of experience, especially from a bowling perspective, and they are match ready. They have been playing for the last 2-3 weeks. I think that's going to make a huge difference in the way this game is going to be. It's going to play
If I
out.
were to ask you, which side do you find better, Pakistan or West Indies?
Better in what sense? As in
Overall,
Overall.
Test
overall.
side currently.
Yeah, if you look at it from a skill standpoint, I mean, an excitement standpoint, I would say Pakistan, but it's just too inexperienced apart from Abbas. I don't know how they're going to sustain themselves over a period of 3 test series, which are going to happen back to back. That's my only concern. If they get that right, I think if they're firing in all through the 3 tests, I feel Pakistan have the edge just purely on their bowling lineup. But I don't think they can do that. England is going to win. I think, yeah. Are we doing series
Yeah.
predictions now? No, right?
Not now,
So,
not now. Let's
I,
come
you know,
back to that. Yeah.
I would say that Pakistan's batting lineup, just on paper, in terms of numbers, is far superior to West Indies. You know, nobody was averaging 40 in the West Indies team. I'm pretty sure Azhar Ali must be averaging over 40. Babar is not yet 50. He will be soon. Asad Shafiq must be around 40 as well. So, you know, you have a core of batsmen over there. For the West Indies, who was going to score? It was like pull it out of a hat who might score in that match, right? So,
Fair enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, then we'll check out
What do
in
you
5 days,
think?
6 days time. Yeah.
What
I
do you
think,
think?
yeah, Pakistan is a much better side. I think they are more mercurial. Their bowling is, I think,
Better side,
much more. Yeah. Pakistan is a
not
much better
compared
side
to West Indies, but with compared to England.
No, compared to West Indies, he's saying.
compared to West Indies. Compared to
Yeah.
England, I mean, I don't think there is a match as of now. Though I'll say Pakistan's batting may be a tad above England as of now. Uh,
Wow.
I believe so. I believe so. But
That's
in bowling, I don't think England is. I don't think not many teams will match England right now. In England,
Can't wait. Can't wait for the match. It's going to be
it
fun.
should be a good match.
Yeah.
Fair enough. See you in 6 days then.